Hello and welcome to this video. So in the last video we learned about the relationship between speed, distance and time, where we found out that speed is equals to distance covered divided by the time taken. We also looked at some examples on how we can calculate speed given distance and time. And if you happened never to watch that video, you can check it out via the link in the description box below. And so in this video, I want us to learn how we can calculate distance given speed and time, and also how we can calculate time given distance and speed. So from this relationship, the distance covered will be found by multiplying speed by the time taken. Okay, distance will be equal to speed times time taken, and then time taken will be equal to distance covered divided by the speed. Okay, so we can look at a few examples. Let's find the distance that a cyclist moving at a speed of 45 kilometers per hour will cover in 30 minutes. Okay, in 30 minutes. So we're going to find distance in kilometers. Alright, so as we have mentioned, distance will be found by multiplying the speed by the time taken. But for this case, you can see that the speed is in kilometers per hour and the time is in minutes. Okay, so we're going to change these 30 minutes into hours. We're going to convert 30 minutes into hours. Okay, so if 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes, okay, what will be 30 minutes equivalent to? So 30 minutes will be equivalent to half an hour. Alright, so we now have the distance, or sorry, not the distance but the time, that is half an hour, and the speed, which is 45 kilometers per hour. So to get distance, we're now going to multiply time, which is half an hour, by speed, which is 45 kilometers per hour. So this is going to give us 22.5 kilometers. Okay, so in 30 minutes this cyclist will have covered 22.5 kilometers. Let's also look at another example. Let's calculate the distance that a cyclist moving at a speed of 10 meters per second will cover in 1 hour. Okay, the distance in kilometers, let's find the distance in kilometers. The distance in kilometers that this cyclist will cover moving at a speed of 10 meters per second and in 1 hour. Okay, so now to find distance, as we said, we need to multiply the time by the speed. But as you can see, the speed is in meters per second and the time is in hours. So we need to convert either the speed into kilometers per hour or the time in seconds, and then we can later on convert the distance to kilometers. Whichever way, they will still give us the same answer. Okay, so let's convert this 1 hour into seconds. 1 hour is equivalent to 3,600 seconds. Okay, that is when we multiply 60 minutes, that is the minutes in 1 hour, and then the seconds in 1 minute, which is 60. So 1 hour is equivalent to 3,600 seconds. So let's find the distance in meters. Okay, so the distance in meters will be the speed, which is 10 meters per second, multiplied by the time in seconds, which is 3,600 seconds. Okay, so this will be equivalent to 36,000 meters. Okay, 36,000 meters. But remember, we're supposed to give our distance in kilometers. So to change meters to kilometers, we need to divide by 1,000 meters, since 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. So this is going to give us 36 kilometers. Okay, so let's look at another example. Let's find the time taken. So this time round, I want us to find the time in hours. Let's calculate the time in hours. The time taken by a vehicle that covers a distance of 120 kilometers, traveling or moving at a constant speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, so we're going to calculate the time taken by this vehicle to cover a distance of 120 kilometers, moving at a constant speed of 80 kilometers per hour. So we now have the distance and we have the speed. So we're going to calculate the time, and from this relationship that we had earlier, we found out that to find time taken, we need to divide the distance covered by the speed. Okay, so the distance covered for this case is 120 kilometers, and then we're going to divide it by the speed, which is 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, so this is going to give us 1.5 hours. Okay, so the time that this vehicle is going to take is 1.5 hours. Remember, we were to give our time in hours, but if we were to give our time in hours and minutes, probably it could be 1 hour and 30 minutes. So let's meet in the next video.